Taurus and car people. I'm looking at my car. Let's have a look at this is a curious reading that I've been wanting to try for some time, so you're going to be the first. And it comes from the book, The Enchanted Tarot, and it has a different, it's from the Council of Animals, and they've all got an important question to ask you that might help clarify situations. So their questions come as such. Toad, who are you really? Let's have a look. A fair person, reciprocity. Fox, what brings you delight? Unbinding. That's interesting. Unbinding. What brings you delight or thought? Dear, what do you love? Justice, well, we can see you're fair anyway. Tawny owl, what do you know? About endings, that's interesting. About rebirth. What's your prey from Merlin Hawk? That's very interesting. I would say that's about what's your prey? Let's get to that in a minute. Bat, what fuels your flight? 3 of Wands, perfect. Squirrel, what do you covet? I love that strategy. Page of Swords. Raven, what is your secret? Something in some sacred geometry, I imagine. Hare, what is your madness? Quite like this. I don't know, there's going to be an interesting picture. I love it. Creativity. King of Wands. Hedgehog, what is your song? Battle cry. Bear, what is your strength of character? 2 cards. Love it. 8 of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. And Badger, what is your philosophy? Gorgeous. Healing. And going after what you really, really want. So this is a really interesting picture. So what are you really? Fair. Okay, with this is reciprocity. Deeply fair, deeply rooted in earthy fairness. With the 6 of Pentacles, he keeps enough for himself, but he also pays these, or helps out these people who don't have anything. I love that. So deep at your heart, whoever's watching this, you're incredibly fair. I hope this sort of brings clarity maybe to some qualities that might help you make some decisions, okay? Fox, what brings you delight? Helping to unbind the victimized thoughts from yourself or other people around you. Clarity, because obviously you're not delighted by being bound up by your thoughts, so I've got to look at it, and it's what would the advice be? And what do you love? Justice. Well, that goes perfectly with your who are you truly? What are you truly? Fair. Well, of course, then what do you love would be the Justice card. You really love, this is a picture, whoever's watching this, of someone deeply fair and moral and sort of true to a fault almost, I can imagine. What do you know? You know about dawns, you know about rebirth after endings. Maybe you've just been through a situation like that. What is your prey with Merlin Hawk? That's interesting. You're a wounded healer, and so you wouldn't really attack your prey. You're not really... you will get involved in a fight, it tells me, but only when you're under attack, because he's under attack, he's building fences, so you wouldn't bring the fight to somebody for no reason. We see that you're a deeply fair person, but don't go attacking you, because you will bring a fight to them. But it's a sort of wisdom. There's a wisdom in the wounded healer. You have been under attack before. What fuels your flight? Your imagination, your passion in the wands, knowing where you want to go, looking at your ships coming in. There's things from further afield, I would say. That's what really, like, your aspirations in the future are kind of really getting you going. And again, this is a similar energy. What do you covet? You want, you have a youthful energy that wants lots of things. You're up on that high precipice, strategizing. So you covet probably quite a lot. Car and Taurus people. You have your eye on quite a lot of things. We see you looking out, and you might not know exactly how to get them, but you really are going to have a go. What is your secret? You might know something about sacred geometry. You definitely know how to communicate. But with the Three of Pentacles, I was just thinking about sacred geometry when it came up in a previous reading. You might understand, because it came up in the idea of kirtan or sort of sacred hymns, so you might understand that kind of chanting, sound healing, because I always see that as related to sacred geometry, structures, ancient structures, ley lines. Maybe that's what your secret is, that you're good at working with those things. What's your madness? You can be a crazy entrepreneur. That your passions can lead to a kind of madness. If you were going to get unbalanced anywhere, it would be with quite a sort of self-serving, creative energy. Well, not going to be self-serving because we know that you're fair. But if you tip into unbalance, it will be around trying to create with that kind of entrepreneurial spirit. Not that you shouldn't do it, but that's where you're most lit up. What is your song? A battle cry with the Five of Swords. You might appear a bit tougher and less fair than you really are. Maybe what you like to talk about is justice, and maybe you talk about it in the way that you might talk with a battle cry. Maybe you're very interested in speaking up for those that need to be defended. What is your strength of character? The Knight of Cups and the Eight of, I think it was this way around. Yeah. What is your strength of character? The Knight of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. You will work very, very hard and tirelessly on something you're very good at, that you love. You can work and work and work. You have stamina, you have commitment. You've got a sort of the spirit of an artisan, and it is what you love. You won't give up. So that is your strength of character. And what is your philosophy? The Star. Healing. So if you were to align to some sort of philosophy, it would be around astrology potentially, healing and regeneration, because she comes after the Tower, and we can see with the 10 that you have had, was that number 4? You do know about endings here, and so you will know about healing after endings, and you've also got the Wounded Warrior there. So your philosophy would be around astrology, around healing. It could also be around the arts, because the little ibis in the background indicates Thoth and the sort of artists, the poets. So you might be somebody who really loves beauty and art. That's fascinating. Right, let's cap this with some oracles, I think. Let's see whether any part of the reading comes out. So, first oracle out, Fire Fairy. Okay, so that's you with looking into the future. This is your sort of madness, the wands that turn up. So your defense, your Wounded Warrior, your Three of Wands, your slight madness in the where are the other ones? In the King of Wands. There's a whole bunch that have just gone missing. Where have they got to? Here they are. All right, let's pick you another one. So it's saying to me, that says don't be frightened of your wandy energy, because it's quite productive. Let's just see what positions those were in, because it's telling you to concentrate on those. The wands, because she's the Fire Fairy. So that would be number 5, your prey. So it would say the part of you that's a wounded warrior, wounded healer, that's worth concentrating on, because you can help people with that. What fuels your flight, the part of you that can see what you want and what you should go after, your sort of ability to hone in, and then your madness with the King of Wands. So those are things that actually are quite useful to you at the moment. The oracles are sort of pointing us in that direction. And oh wow, and then we've got the Spirit of Fire. So 2 lots. They're saying concentrate on those things. The part of you that fuels your flight, and what is your prey. So your prey would be healing people with your ability to defend and understand pain, and that will fuel your flight, your ability to see that in other people. And even though it's a bit of a madness, it's actually very good for you. You're having 2 indications of that wonderful fiery energy there. That's really interesting. And then finally, one more oracle. That one came out very, activation, yeah, and a final sort of wand, which is a maypole. That's how you're activated. It's saying concentrate on your wandy energy, the ability to defend from a kind of moral stance of somebody that's been wounded and knows how to defend themselves, to see what you want with the 3 of Wands, to go after what you want, to be able to focus on it with all that passionate energy. And then it is a madness, but it's also a kind of divine madness. It's, how did they describe it? Your madness of the King of Wands. Use that king energy, use that slight madness, because it's actually quite positive. And let's have, yeah, a final Rider-Waite. We've got the High Priestess. Use your intuition to see how these notes might help you. Is there any other part of the reading that you want to indicate? No, that's fine. We're fine with that now, I think. Oh, except we've got this whole pack here. Oh, which includes the Justice. Let's just try once more, because, right, is there anything else that we want to look at in this reading for Taurus about their characteristics? It's hidden right underneath. No, it's the 5 of Pentacles. What part of them needs help then? Let's have a look. Which bit of this reading would you say they need help with? The endings. Oh, what was that position? Okay, so it's acknowledging the position, which was number 4, I think. Yeah, 4. What do you know? You know endings, you know giving up sometimes when there's no point in fighting. Is there any other characteristic they can bring to that to help? The 7 of Wands, which we haven't got here in the Page of Wands, but it talks about learning through your wands to defend yourself. And the healing for this part of them. There is healing, there is happiness, but I think it comes through your fire. Okay, it's an interesting reading. Maybe it will ring a bell with some people. Maybe it will give you some clarity on your inner qualities and help you move forward in whatever situation you're facing. See you again.